Let's see what's happening in the crazy topsy-turvy world of Marvel Contest of Champions, shall we? In the 3 weekly show we like to call the MCN. Yes, news and information about things that have happened, could happen, and are scuffed in this game. And no, I am not restarting my 90s boy band. It's just hot and humid, and it's falling this way. Let's get into the show, shall we? And we start off with this by Purple Guy! For those that know, Marky Plier, Marky Moo. The game enjoyed in fantastic vertical format. Do you like this new format of Marvel Contest of Champions? Will you be experiencing it? Yes, I'm going to ensure that Kabam give it out to everybody in the community, just so you get to enjoy things in a more vertical element to it. Whether you're farming in arena, which of course Purple Guy is indeed doing, you can enjoy the game in magnificent, magnified vertical format for those that care. Does it load quicker? Well, somewhat actually. That loads quicker than my iPad, so it just goes to show you. Yeah, if you like this new format of MCOC, sound off in the comments. Now, for those curious, you might have seen that the forums look a bit different at the moment. For those astute among you will know, this is called a bug. Now, this time, this isn't actually a bug, that is Kabam. Well, it's Kabam's bug by proxy, the proxy being they are the operator, like it's their website, and of course, that's how it is. It looks an absolute mess. It is not nice. Of course, we use a lot of it to find information because Kabam respond directly to stuff here, so this is where one goes to grab, information. You can see like there's a Kabam representative responding there. I actually quite like this as being like these colored boxes to cover, like bring like alertness to the response. This is a bug. Like it's funny. Someone's here like, I don't know why Kabam wasted their resources in forum layout. It was perfect. If the developer doesn't have any work to do and give AI bugs to solve. Now, this is funny because, again, we've got the same type of dissection with this. You know, the cleaner at Kabam, and, in Canada, in the offices, the Vancouver offices, they're not responsible for dealing with bugs. The same way that you wouldn't go, oh, you're in charge of art, aren't you? You do art at Kabam. Yeah, you need to go and fix bugs. Community team, Karate Mike, Dave. Yeah, you need to be you need to be doing some of these story narrative stuff, or you need to be doing this or that or that. It's not how companies work. If you work and you work in a company, you wouldn't expect to do some of the stuff that other people do, unless you are multi-skilled and have to dip in and dip out. But that's very few and far between. So yes, this isn't actually Kabam. This is the host site or where this is located. And Kabam Pinwheel said, not a change we made. That's why I said I'd be reaching out to our forum host. Okay, so hopefully this will be fixed. But unfortunately, Kabam by proxy inherit this particular bug. So it's not going to look particularly nice when we're covering the MCN today with some of the stuff. So let's try our best. Now on to one of the bigger stories, and actually what could be a bigger issue if this is a visual glitch, visual issue, because Kabam will either have to give out a lot of points in compensation to the community. Right, what is going on here? As we know, when the Crucible Realm event was launched, the promise was that using revives and completing the objectives would give you the points. Now, I'm working my way through the Crucible at the moment. Well, not this Crucible, but the various Crucibles. I've actually just finished the mini ones, just about to post a guide or kind of get a guide ready for it. Before then, working on the Legendary guide, as well as I've got to cover Rebirth event. There's some updates with the Summoners Realm event as well. There's a lot of things I still haven't found enough time to cover. But then that is what it is. Kabam released a lot of content on one given day. So something was going to break. The event with getting the objectives, we'll come back to this because there could be a potential bug associated with one of these. But by going in and doing them right away, it actually there might have been like a few bugs here or there, which suppresses the ability for the community and maybe yourselves to get a large amount of points from an individual standpoint, and of course from a realm event standpoint as well. The Crucible Rebirth event, which you can see is in full swing at the moment, and you click on how to get points, you can't, like on screen right now, I am trying to swipe it going up and down, but there's no up and down function to it. It is very much rooted to there. And of course, if you read right now, can you read? I hope you can, person watching this video. You will know and notice that there is nothing that says if you use a revive under the how to get points area. Does anything say, did we say anything about in the about event section? It says complete objectives and defeat bosses in the Crucible chapter, Act 8 and Rebirth and mini Crucible quest to earn points in this event. It doesn't say about using revives. So whether or not Kabam had a bit of a change of heart type thing and then decided to like not have that, again, it's unsure on that particular element. And I thought whilst here, I should just check to see if there's anything under the special objectives that say about maybe using revives within the quest. And, well, it's not really there. There's also going to be some, I think, further questions for a lot of players and people. If you go back, like, will you feel needed to go back to the normal difficulty of Act 8 Crucible to get additional realm points, or could you do without them? That again is going to be another big question I think players are going to have the further they go into this particular realm event. You've still got like 19 days of this in operation. So again, it's another key question that players have in, are you able to get enough of the realm event points for the Crucible or the Rebirth event and the reinvestment back in, and is it worth it? Look, lots, you got lots of questions. Definitely I've got lots of questions as well for this. But on the subject, because you do need a confirmation at some stage, I know that Karate Mike was asked to comment. This was, by the way, at 1 a.m. Canadian time, maybe 6 a.m. my time. I ain't getting up for this, but said that can't confirm if it was a bug, but it looks like one. I'll get this sorted tomorrow. At the time I'm recording this video, which is 9:30 p.m. UK time, there doesn't seem to be a follow-up response on it, and definitely there will be I think a good conversation for compensation, and especially if you've used revives already and that's lost points, because there's no clarification on that. People have lost points, potentially. But even more so, if Kabam changed the narrative on whether this was using revives or not when the event was put together, and of course when the launch is. We'll find out if there's any update to this over the weekend. If there is, I'll let you know, of course, in whatever, like if there's an MCN news update or breaking news on it, then of course we'll cover it. A little follow-up on the thread we talked about, I think it was on Monday's MCN, or was it Wednesday's MCN? Daily quests. I know a lot of people are still undecided. As I said, for me, like, look, have your own opinion. Like, my thoughts on this is that I don't mind. I don't mind it if Kabam have pitched it in a way that it is just very easy to do. It auto fights through. Yes, would I like everything from the daily quest to be within something like a daily, super daily event? Of course. Will there be some winning in it that will equate to you auto fight through Apothecary, and maybe that's kind of like it's a little bit too much to do, but Apothecary, two kind of like paths, then auto fighting through the daily quest in whatever format it is, and then that does the super daily, and then it's like 10 minutes and you've got a lot of nice stuff, including a chunk of units as a result. If that's something that could be on offer, then fine. You know, I'm happy with that one. Is it better than waiting 7 days for something? Then is it better for farming? Maybe. Is it better for relic items farming? Maybe. I want to see it launched to get a proper opinion on whether I like it or don't. And whether you're going to like it or not, we'll have to see. But a little bit of a follow-up from that from Kabamasaurus Rex, Karate Mike, who said that I was curious, just did a test run in about 2 minutes and 15 seconds auto fighting. So it's even worse if it just becomes jarring without reason. Oh, hang on. No, this is something to do with something else. But he says the forums, honestly, the way this kind of like is a reply. The point is a quest in game where you go on a quest with your characters, and we'll talk about that in a second, or bring that in. Sometimes things are going to be updated and revamped, and it isn't always going to be total 1-for-1 ratio. So that kind of like gives a it's happening, a definitive is happening. But we all know MCOC is not how it used to be. It's gone away very much from the fighting game element and is very much a fighting RPG game, if anything, because it's got so many extra elements to it. And you have to really kind of sit down and chill out for a moment and relax. And I'm looking forward to relaxing a bit over the weekend, although there are some things in MCOC I need to complete. But I'm going to try and maybe have a weekend away and just touch grass and just work on my garden, because it does become a bit much, you know. Some things happened IRL that make you kind of like think a bit about all this kind of like gaming in one game type thing and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot to do in MCOC, isn't there? But is this going to save time? And again, that's something that we have to wait until next month to find out what it's like. And here is where we're going to finish the show for today, and that is Crucible objectives being bugged. Player says, Oliver, I did all the chapter 1 bosses, and I was supposed to get all 15 of the objectives done, but I only got up to 12. Why did it just skimp out on 3 or 4? I figured out that the bug triggered if you die in that fight even once. I didn't die in the Nimrod fight, and then on the Ronin, I died once, and after I finished the fight, I didn't get the objective. Interesting. Savage says the objective does not say solo. I died to a fight against Chapter 2 Boss 1 of the objective. Didn't count. Can we get a new event launch without bugs? Also, don't rush in. A lot of people I know go into content day one, and yeah, there may be, it's fun to do that, maybe not fun to do that. I think it's best to take your time, maybe have a look at like guides, information that people post, do a bit of research as well, and just kind of plan out some stuff before kind of like jumping in. I'm definitely the case. I mean, I can't keep up with, because I've got a full-time job, to create the guides that are required. Like the Crucible guide that I'm putting together is a very extensive guide, and it goes a little bit further to give various more counters to kind of situations, whether it be 5-star, no, whether it be 6-star, 7-star options, and also thinking outside the box. However, I can't get that done now. Realistically, I don't think it's going to be done until probably start of early next week, but it's permanent content, so I'm treating it like that and trying to enjoy myself. Either way, a lot of people have experienced issues with this particular quest versus the objectives, because the objectives don't seem to be triggering correctly. Have you experienced the issue? And as well, will you be hoping that Kabam address this and deal with it? Because I know a lot of people want to get the points required for the realm event itself. I don't know whether or not people have done the normal difficulty or not, because it does say, oh, it's normal and legendary. Sorry, I take that back from the earlier thing that I mentioned being one or t'other. But yeah, normal difficulty or legendary difficulty with that one. And the bug, maybe put something into support Kabam, and hopefully they will deal with it and fix it. But yeah, new update and a few bits of scuff, isn't it? Have you been affected? Put it in the comments. So there we go. That has been the show for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in some other bits of coverage that I'm doing. All right, bye.